Hello guys, welcome back to the skygen project. This is the full video, unlike the short, where I only went over the powers. In this video, I will explain everything that I can, showing you how things work, the idea of things, but first things I think I should cover up is that we'll be going over everything in order. So I'm going to start with the hub, and I'm going to tell you why it is set up like the way it is set up. Alright, so moving on to the hub, as you can see, this is based off of the elements. So we have the water dude over here. He is bending water, of course. We have air, or no, not air. This is grass. This is grass. I'm stupid. I saw this and I got confused, but as you can see, just bending grass. I'll explain the stories behind all of these, by the way. This is the airbender. As you can see, he's fighting a castle. And then this is the firebender, which seems to be inside the nether. Because this is a skygen, I wanted to go with the same four-way project type thing. However, I didn't have any ideas for what I wanted this side to be, so I just put settings, then there's kits, then there's plots, then there's shop. Now, if we hop on the underside, as you can see, we have a lot of command blocks under here, and by the way, there is one singular secret in the, inside the hub, but you guys will just have to see that if you want to play it for yourself. By the way, my Discord Xbox username, if you want to find any way to contact me and play this for yourself, let me know, because I will indeed be, like, everything that you want to see will just be in the description. But these are all particles. As you can see, this is the particle for the water dude. Oh wait, that's just alright. We have more bucket evaporating stuff. As you can see, just particles. That's all they really are. But the special thing about this is this black tube right here. This was the first thing that was ever actually made because we wanted this to be the foundation. So basically you spawn right here. So you will never spawn anywhere else but here. So then you fall down, you get turned into adventure, and now you're inside the hub. But this time you're in adventure. So, yeah. Then I guess that's really all that I gotta show you about the hub. There's not really anything else more interesting. Give me a minute. Alright. One more thing that I guess is kind of interesting is that these right here cannot be exploded. So click on them, they can't be exploded. I don't want to go in there yet because we're not ready to show you. But as you can see, right underneath this is the teleport command to stuff. But now I'm actually going to explain the storyline behind the benders. If you don't want to see their storyline and you want to find the secret for yourself and discover why they're like this, then go to this timeline, it'll be on the screen. But the story goes, behind the benders were, basically there was this giant field, and then inside that field there were stones that remained in the field that held the power of the elements, but only one singular person could have the power of the elements, because their cells simply could not hold the amount of power that they truly had. If only we could find a way to truly max out the true way of the stones, then you may have all elements. However, elements, they're kind of hard to come by. I say they're kind of hard to come by because they're hard to come by. In general, you can't have more than one. But that is the general story of the stones. There was just a big field, and yeah, then the stones remain there with the elements. Anyways, I think we should move on to the kits, because the kits area, it doesn't have a lot of storyline, there's not a lot to it, but I think we should just move on to them anyways. So, heading on into the kits. As you can see, by the way, the kits are not completely finished yet. You have Earth, and by the way, this is based off of Earth. As you can see, the middle part is Earth. Then you have water over here. Then you have fire. And then you have air, which bends these blocks into place, and then because this block is heavy, you can't actually bend it too much. Now, the storyline behind these is that we're gonna have armor stands that remain here, And the armor stands have so much power because their power is infused with the stones that the power of the armor alone will cause the elements around them to bend. So having an armor stand simply back here bends these 3 blocks. And then having this over here grants a constant healing effect. This back here makes the water go into like an arch formation, by the way. Log. So yeah, and then the fire one is, I don't know if I already explained that one, it just bends the fire into an arch. But that's really all that there is to see about this one. If you want to see the outside, by the way, there are no mods with this, like, there's nothing that you need to download. As you can see, walking around, this is the top of it. We have a giant green thing up here, that way, from in there, it looks like it goes on forever, as you can see, because you can kind of see through it. If I had just there, you'd be able to see blue. So I just make sure that you can't see through it. And then that's the obsidian thing. So like this is the obsidian, as you can see. So this one's up, this one's down. As you can see, when it reaches them, it does its thing, goes down, that one goes up. That's pretty much it. And also these commands on the other side right here. This is just the exact same, TPU back to spawn. As you can see, those are just particles. So that's the kits shown. By the way, we'll get to the main command area that's underneath the plots. So we're going to do plots last because they're incredibly cool. And also it transports me into survival. Anyways, so this is the shop. As you can see, the shops are based off of stones. 15 stone per coal, you know, that type of stuff. A lot of people think it's incredibly easy, but if you go like in chronological order, constantly grinding them from iron to lapis, it gets difficult. So 200, and then it maxes out at 100 times, I think. Yeah, it maxes out at 100 times. So it's 100 times the amount of iron, even though iron only sells for 25. Then there's stuff like, you know, lapis over here that you can sell. There's another right. But, moving on. Actually, you guys probably want to see the commandage. There. Oh, by the way, the shop is based off of water, just to let you know. They're all based off of their own special elements, just to let you know. This is how the shop thing works. Test if you have, my bad. It tests if you have the correct amount of stones, and then this does your thing. If this fails, then these two don't, or then these two do. So, the chain commands work off of, like, failing and not failing. So if this guy fails, basically if it gets a value of no, which is 0, because let's say you have under 20k, it would then get a value of 0 and fail. Then the chain removes it, and then it will clone this block, the lapis gen, and then it will clone the lapis egg from a item frame into there, like right there. Then there's this, it will test. If this succeeds, then it will title you need more stones. It's the exact same way, just with different numbers. And then the cell, you can't break, because, I don't know, people, like, you have to add this very specific one, so, like, 0, 1. So, yeah. It'll clear that, and then it will add your money. And that's how that works. And then coming from above here, you can see the water thing, and it's pretty cool. Yet again, these commands work the exact same. And that's how the shop works. Moving on to settings. Settings is based off of fire, as you can see. This is the fire set, you'll get this later. And the fire set alone is powerful enough to cause these little tiny things going on around here. And also, you may wonder why it's safe to have hay bales in a fire room, but you know, the bending power is controllable. You can turn off night vision, and then you can turn on night vision. You can turn off raid night, or you can turn on raid night. Meaning you can get killed, you can get kills. You don't get anything, it's just cool to go around killing people with powers. Or you can turn it off. And if somebody ever, like, day raids or night raids, doesn't really matter. I will show you the raid night system, but it's turned off right now because this is a solo world. This is not open for, like, public use yet. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'll find a way eventually, but you get the point. Alright, now moving on with... Where is it? Plots. Moving on with plots. Step on through, transports you into survival, and then you have these 16 by 16 plots, and it extends for like 36. And I can't even have that many players in the server, so each and every single server could have 2 plots and still wouldn't fill everything up. Don't, though, that's not allowed. Alright, so this is the command area. If you don't want to see commands and you don't like to hear about commands, click off the video now because this is going to get very boring very quick. Because, well... Alright, so these are every single one of the, like, shop items. So these are where they come from. So as you can see, all of these are secretly generators. And the reason why that is that if we come over here, we have every single... Here, actually, I'm going to clear my inventory, that way you guys can see this better. I know I messed some of these up. Alright. By the way, the spawner gen is not in shop, but it costs 35k, just to let you know. By the way, spawners give a lot of XP, that's why I have it. As you can see, chickens come. By the way, you cannot pick up the chicken. Just to let you know, you can't pick it up. It gets cleared from your inventory instantaneously. Alright, now moving on. Wood works, all of this stuff works, and if you want me to explain it, I will. Just showing you that all the stuff works. By the way, the spawner one tends to be very confusing. Also, I just had a major voice crack. The spawner one is very confusing for a lot of people because, well, making it in general. It wasn't confusing to, it wasn't, like, it's not confusing to use. It's confusing to, a lot of people just don't understand how to spawn a spawner with the, /set block command. But, yeah. And you'll see that in these commands. If you came here for a tutorial, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm not going to explain anything too well, so much in depth where you can clone it. But basically, it's the exact same for every single one of them, so I'm only going to explain one of them. You have the set block dirt thing, that's the block that actually gets cloned. Then you have this, so /execute position as. So basically, the execute is executing a command that works off of position as if, like, as if, but does, all that type of stuff. So then it position as at E, which is any animal, and then the type, which is always a chicken, and then the name, which I named Dirt Gen, because this is the dirt generator, of course. And then it will run the /clone. It will run the /clone command. And then these are the coordinates of this block right here, and then it does it does this right here to make sure that the generator goes underneath the chicken so that you get your command block at the precise point. It's the exact same for every single one of these, just their name is a little bit different and their coordinates are a little bit different. Anyways, let's move on to the leaderboard system. Leaderboard system right here. But this... Never mind, I'm not going to say that. Alright, so basically this scoreboard right here, objectives set sidebar, this is setting here. If I go to scoreboard, and then I go to objectives, and then I do list, as you can see, SD displays as stones, and its type is a dummy. Then stones displays as stones, and its type is dummy. So basically, SD stands for stones display, which is why you see that over there. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse or not in OBS, but if you can, then just look at the stones leaderboard. This is a 3-part process, but I probably should get to explaining this first. So this right here, test 4 at A, works with everybody. As you can see, it's found me. But because the reason why we have this is to test out players are even in the game in the first place. However, there's only allowed to be a max output of 10 players. Because I want to see if this is actually true though. Because 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so a max player of 15 is allowed to be in the game. Reason being is because the observer back there, it detects the strength of this, and then it fires that amount of outpulses into this, which then runs the player base. This is just to add the scoreboard to everybody, which is S. Don't worry, I know how to fix it. It's not that hard. Slash scoreboard players at ASD0. That's it. No, I did something wrong. Ah, I missed the add. Even command gods get stuff wrong. No, that's the exact same. No, it is not. All I have to do is remove the slash, but it doesn't really matter. There we go. Yep, still working. Alright. So that gives every single player, 0. That way they appear on the leaderboard in the first place. Because if a player just has 0, but they haven't been given 0, then they won't show up on the leaderboard. This just adds stone 0, that way they show up on the leaderboard, but this time the number shows up. So SD is their name and the name of the leaderboard. Stones is the value. So you have my name and then you have the stones logo for the leaderboard in general. The number right there, that is the stones, and then SD is displaying it. So you have to give 0, that way it's not just a player list and you can actually see how much stones I have. Hold up. By the way, this is a clone, so I just want to let you know nothing is actually being broken. But, you know, command God over here, I'm fine. Alright, then you have the execute as at A, which is running on every single player. Then the scoreboard operation equals S, so it will, basically what this is doing is it is cloning SD to the stones. So if I have 100 plus stones, it will show up on the leaderboard because of this command block right here. SD is displaying it, stones is holding the value. So if you want to change that value over there, you give me stones. However, the SD is being cloned by stones. So SD is what shows up on the leaderboard yet again, but stones is the main value of it. And then, so that's that side explained. Moving on over to this side, we have scoreboard objective remove SD, which basically removes my name off the leaderboard, but it does it so fast you can't see it. So it will remove my name and then add me again. This is to, like, by the way, this system works to turn off player offline, by the way, because whenever you have a leaderboard and you just set it up normally, it has that giant list of player offline. With this system, player offline does not happen. So this removes my value, which removes me off of the leaderboard. This will, okay, never mind. This is just adding SD back into the rotation, so this adds it back into, this adds SD back into the leaderboard, so as you can see, an objective named SD already exists. And then this just sets the display over to the sidebar. Which, that's how the leaderboard works. Alright, now moving on to what these two things are. This, you saw earlier, this is just being cloned by the block, so clone this block to 2 blocks above it. So then you have every single generator. This is a little bit different. This is a 32k netherite set from Horion. By the way, I did this myself. I have Orion, by the way, just to let you know. Don't think of me as a terrible person. This, I like to call this the ban hammer, but I call it game mode C in general, because these two commands over here, these test if any item is named game mode C, and then it will just change my game mode to game mode C. As you can see, then it will kill the entity, so it'll kill the sword, but it will update my game mode. And I'm actually going to keep a couple of these on me because I don't want to change to game mode C constantly. And then I'm planning to set up a thing in the future where it makes sure that I always have a sword, but I only have it once. This is the Raid Knight system, so it works off of a tag. So if I do tag at E list, as you can see, 8 entities have 4 total tags, meaning there's just a couple entities out there that have the exact same tags that I do, but it doesn't really matter. So, Night Vision, Raid Knight, No, Airbender, and then Owner. So, basically, that's the main ones. However, there is also Raid Knight Yes in there, which, you know, changes the Raid Knight thing. It just clears the tag. So yeah, this is every single tag in the game. So night vision works with an on and off signal, meaning it turns off whenever you click turn it on. Or no, it turns on whenever you turn it on, and then it'll turn off whenever you get rid of the tag. And then the Raid Knight No is like no Raid Knight, you can't get killed and you can't get griefed. Whenever that disappears, all of your effects disappear after 5 seconds, and that's it. Then there's Airbender, which you'll see up here. Like, these 4 commands took me a week alone to figure out, but you'll see them in a minute. And then this is just clearing stuff. This clears, like, special things that allows you not to be able to hack. And then that's just this is just a night vision thing. This right here. So the reason why we're clearing an anvil is because if you didn't see over here, every single egg is the exact same, so we have to make sure that you can't rename an egg. That way you can't just get a generator yourself. And then you /clear chicken and feather. That way, you know, you can't have chickens and feathers in your inventory because the chicken dies. This kills every single chicken that comes from here. This /clears item frames, so like whenever you buy stuff from the shop, it will put an item frame in your inventory, so I just clear that. This is the ban room, and you literally physically cannot get out of here. It sets your game modes to adventure. Here, I'll just show you. It sets your game modes to adventure, and then it /clears your inventory, and it's constantly teleporting you. Alright. Now moving up. So basically, this is the main command block area, and then this is the powers area. By the way, all of this is in a ticking zone, meaning they always, it's always active. All these command blocks are always active, no matter where you are in the game. I'm gonna move on to my Raid Knight system. So basically, you put a daylight sensor here, and then you put a repeater running into it. This says Raid Knight inside the chat. This sets PvP to true. It sets keep inventory to true or false. Okay, so basically this is that's failing, or filling, not failing. It's filling in all of this. So if let's say it's about to turn night, you're in your plot, you're doing your things, you don't want to be killed, so you're going to stay in your plot, and then Raid Knight comes and it closes off your plot, that way you cannot be raided, you cannot be raided, so your stuff can't be destroyed, you can't be killed, but you're stuck in your plot for 10 minutes, however, you're completely invulnerable to all other players. Okay. And then this just does the rest. And then that says closing the plots, which, as you know, close the plots. Then this over here is just everything, is literally just the complete opposite. So opening plots, that sets it to air, these two set the border blocks. And it works on both sides, so you don't have to be on one singular side for it to work. Actually, I forgot to explain the powers. Alright, so this power alone took me, like I said, so incredibly long, and also you just got a little bit of a hint of what it did there. So you pick up the item and hold it out and it makes you fly. And so this is the first command. It basically tests if you have the item, if your location is in your main hand, and then it tests if you have the airbender tag, and then it will give you speed 1 true. Which, that just makes sure that the particles aren't there. That way you can't see the speed particles. And then it's the exact same for every single one of them, except for this one's a little bit different. This one was a little bit more confusing because it runs off of the execute command. So, execute at A, which is anybody who has the item, has an item, and then that item is the amethyst shard located in their main hand, which is they're holding it out. They physically have it. They're physically holding it, and then it tests if they have the airbender tag, and if they do, then it will run the particle command directly underneath their feet, which those coordinates probably took me the longest to figure out, if I'm being honest. And then this is just the exact same, just with slow falling, and then this top one is just the, no. This bottom one right here is just the exact same, just levitation. And then that allows you to be able to fly. Now, I'm going to go off some miscellaneous things, and then I'm going to talk about my plans for the future. So this is the testing area. This is what I do to go test everything, and then I have this little tiny roof here. That way I can test out the shard. Anyway, so falling back down. This over here is the 2 commands that stop everybody from hacking. Literally just, it stops everybody from hacking. Like, it stops the server being nuked. It stops it stops you being able to go in the game mode, see everything. As you can see, command block minecart, it gets killed instantaneously, that way you can't run commands via hacks, and then it also kills NPCs, which also run by hacks. Now, you may have noticed this entire time that I have a totem in my inventory, and this is the unlimited totem. That totem will never disappear, making me invincible even in survival to the void. I can't be killed to anything. This will just replace item with, so this replaces an item inside my inventory because I'm an entity, and then I have to say my name. So entity, my name, which is me, and then I have slot weapon offhand for my offhand, and then it just sets the amount of items, and then I put totem. So I constantly have a totem of undying. All right. What else miscellaneous is there? I'm trying to really think. I think that's it. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the main type of powers, and I'm gonna tell you how to get started in this. If you actually want to play it for yourself, I'll tell you how to get started. Sorry about that. I have to go up here because there's barrier blocks here, and then that interferes with that. So my camera angle is always a little bit weird. Alright, so my powers for the future is a bow. I'm not done with this, but I just want to show you. Doesn't matter which type of bow, I don't really care. I'm gonna have probably a crossbow. So I'm gonna have a crossbow that whenever loaded, and you shoot it at your enemy. By the way, the crossbow has infinite. The crossbow has infinite. No. Yeah, the crossbow has infinite arrows, and firing it at your enemy pulls them towards you, and does 8 hearts of damage to them exactly. Now, however, here's the thing: if you throw down both the amethyst shard and your crossbow, it will make something called the Bender's super weapon, which makes it so that whenever you're holding the crossbow out, you can fly. You have like 3 times the amount of speed that you normally would, and your enemy gets pulled way farther towards you. Like, it gets pulled 14 blocks towards you. Now, here's the thing. Imagine being this high in the air, shooting it at your enemy. You've just fired it at your enemy. Hold up. You fire it at your enemy, and they go flying 14 blocks in the air, combined with the 8 hearts of damage. Imagine that. That's a super weapon, if you've asked me. Anyways, now I'm gonna move on to the enchantment system, because I have no other plans for any other benders. I'm gonna go on with the enchantment system. So basically, there is not gonna be enchantments. So there's gonna be custom enchants. The custom enchants for everybody is going to be Airbender has feather falling in Prot 4. By the way, everybody is Prot 4. Just every single bender has automatic Prot 4. So they're gonna have feather falling. That way you can fall from infinite height, pretty much. And then I'm trying to think. Alright, so the fire guy is gonna have, because he can bend fire and he can cause people to light on fire, he might accidentally light himself on fire, so he's gonna have 2/4 fire prot, and then the other part is just gonna be fire prot. However, he's gonna get an extra weapon that heals him, like, constantly. So, yeah, he's gonna get a weapon that, like, does a little bit of healing, not a lot, but he gets an extra weapon. I'm just gonna call it like the healing stone or something, I don't know. And then the earth guy, he has prot 4, but he doesn't have a custom enchant, so he's just going to have 5 extra hearts. And then who'd I miss? Water guy. Water guy, he's gonna have swift sneak, and because if this gets big enough, there will be clans in like the plots. So if you want to sneak into a plan and try to kill everybody, then water guy will definitely help you. If you want to be an assassin in general, go ahead, you can pick water. And then his power, because that's not exactly a good power, so like prot 4 and swift sneak, that's not exactly good. He's gonna have an extra weapon, just probably gonna end up being like a bow that does more hearts than usual. So he's gonna have a bow that just does like 2 more hearts. So like power 4 or something, I don't know. And that's gonna be it. That's pretty much the end of this video. I don't have really any other plans for anything, so that's it. Yeah. Like I said, everything is down in the description, and while you're down there, please like and subscribe. This whole thing took me months to make, and I've been planning on making it for like, I've been planning on making a video about it for so incredibly long, but I just haven't. So, if you want to help me work on this, everything will be down in the description. If you want to find, like, my server, if you want to find my server, my Discord link, all that. And if you want to find pretty much anything, it'll be down in the description, just to let you know. And yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna wrap this video up with. So yeah, if you want to help work on it, give me ideas, let me know. Everything's down in the description. So yeah, bye. Alright, I'm joking. I'm gonna have to hit you guys with a better bye than that. Alright. Bye-bye! I messed up. Sorry. Alright, I'm leaving that in, by the way. Bye-bye!